जय जय नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna, and I welcome all the devotees who love to listen to this Bhagavatam Katha regularly. I heartily welcome all the senior Vaishnavas of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, Iskcon, who have beautifully decorated this assembly. I also would like to welcome you all who have gathered in huge numbers through the medium of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, etc. I welcome all the listeners, and in particular, I welcome the host family who, with their mellowful heart and pious, pure heart, have organized this beautiful katha. The residents of Toronto, Canada, the Patel family, Leelaben, Gautam Bhai, Amlalka, and their whole family, and whose son is Arvind Bhai, and his wife, Neetaben, their daughter, Sudhaben, and Praveen Kumar, and a member of our Amrit Charcha. Since this Amrit Charcha program has started, he has been regularly attached to this assembly. Shri Sanjay Bhai and Asha Ben and their daughter Kriti, Shaurya, Jia, and Nandini. So, I welcome you all on the first day of this Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. I heartily welcome you all, and our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
परम सौभाग्य भक्त वांछित कल्पतरु।
We are extremely fortunate that the Lord who loves his devotees and who has extreme parental affection towards the devotees, and the festivity of the appearance day of Sri Narsimha Dev Bhagwan is on Saturday, 3 days from now, and We are starting this Bhagavatam from the day of a pious Ekadashi, which in itself is a great fortune. And in Sanskrit, it is called Kanchan Mani Yoga.
भगवान नरसिंह देव न केवल हमारे विघ्नों को हरते हैं,
Lord Narsingadev not only eradicates our obstructions and distresses, but he also provides us
श्रीमद् भागवत के
foundation
टीकाकार
to perform the devotional service.
श्रीधर स्वामी
Sripad
जिन्होंने भागवत
Sridhar Swami,
भावार्थ दीपिका नामक टीका
who
लिखी
wrote Bhavat Tipika, which is a commentary on Shrimad Bhagavatam,
चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने कहा कि भागवत समझना है तो श्रीधर को समझना होगा.
and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has said that if you really want to understand Shrimad Bhagavatam, then you need to understand Sridhar Goswami and read his interpretation and commentary.
प्राय श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने भागवत का अनुवाद किया,
Most of the time, Prabhupada, when
कोट किया है.
did translated the Shrimad Bhagavatam, then he has quoted Sridhar Goswami many times. It is said that Lord himself appeared and testified and says that I know Shrimad Bhagavatam, and after me, the person who understands Bhagavatam is Shukdev Goswami. The beloved parrot of Srimati Radharani, through whose ears she used to send her message to Lord Shri Krishna. So he says or testifies that either I know the Bhagavatam or Shukdev Goswami knows it. And he says that Raja, that is Parikshit Maharaj, and I'm not sure whether he knows Bhagavatam or not. But he says Aham Veti, that means I know. Shuko Veti means Shukdev Goswami knows. And after them, if someone understands Bhagavatam is Sridharam. So it means that Sridhar Goswami Sakalam Veti means he knows or understands completely. So this is the word of Lord himself. So that means that he says that Sakalam Veti in reference of Sridhar Goswami, which he doesn't even use this for himself. So that means that he knows beyond the Lord as well. And the Lord completes the verse that why he is able to understand, because he has the immense mercy and blessings of Lord Narsingadev. So usually in Iskcon, we usually remember Narsingadev Bhagwan when we are about to start our car, or we are about to board a flight, or we are starting a journey. It is a good thing. But by his mercy, we can also understand Bhagavatam as
भागवत के आश्रय में
is
बैठे हैं,
confirmed by the Lord
के
Himself.
माध्यम से भगवत प्रेम और भगवान को समझना चाहते हैं.
So
यदि
we are
हम सब
here
भगवान की कृपा
to
हो
understand
तो इस
Shrimad
भागवत को
Bhagavatam,
समझ
and
सकते हैं. भगवत
if
प्रेम
we
को
have the
समझ सकते
mercy
हैं.
of Narsimhadev, then we will be able to
और इस
understand
भगवत के
Shrimad
मार्ग
Bhagavatam.
में जो भी विघ्न आते हैं, ये
And
सारे
on this
विघ्न
path of
भगवान
our
नरसिंहदेव
understanding of
दूर
Shrimad
करते हैं.
Bhagavatam, that obstruction
गत
or
वर्ष में
distress that we face
श्री
are
नरसिंहदेव
removed
भगवान
by
के
Lord
प्राकट्य की
Narsimhadev
कथा हमने
himself.
सुनी. सुनी ना.
So last year
और गोविंद
we
ठाकुर की
heard
कृपा से
the
आज ही
pastimes
विराम हुआ
or the
इस
appearance
नरसिंहदेव
day
भगवान की जो
Katha
कथा
of Narsimhadev
जिसमें
by
प्रहलाद महाराज के
the
दिव्य गुण
mercy of Govind
और
TV.
भगवान नरसिंहदेव
We
के प्राकट्य की
just
चर्चा
heard
हम सबने
the
सुनी.
whole Katha
और
till
मैं उसको
yesterday,
रिपीट नहीं करूंगा. मैं रिपीट करूं तो પછી
and
મને નરસિંહ
I am
ભગવાન
not going
પેટમાં
to
આવે
repeat that.
અને પછી મારું ગળું હતું ન હતું થાય, માંડ માંડ બરોબર થયું છે.
So
तो
if
ये
I
पाठ
repeat
आपने
that,
सुन लिया है. और
then
नहीं सुना तो आपको निवेदन करूं कि रोज YouTube Facebook में
my
निरंतरम
speech will
भगवत
be
की कथाएं गोविंद
this
टीवी के द्वारा रखी जाती हैं.
will be
अवश्य सुने.
in
ये
pain
मार्केटिंग नहीं
and
है.
distress, and
मार्केटिंग करना होता तो मैं कितना कर देता.
somehow I have
ये
just
केवल इस कथा को समझने के
got
लिए
my
कनेक्शन
speech
है.
back to normal.
यदि पिछली
So
कथा को
I'm
नहीं
not trying
सुनेंगे
to market
तो
my
ये कथा
last
कहाँ से
Katha,
करेंगे.
but
क्योंकि किसी
it's
भी
just
कथा
that
की
these two
मूल
Kathas are
बुनियादी
interconnected,
महत्वपूर्ण है.
and the foundation of
सो
any
प्रहलाद
Katha
महाराज के
or
दिव्य
pastime
गुण
is important.
और
So
नरसिंहदेव
the
भगवान का प्राकट्य
qualities of
ये
Prahlad
जितना
Maharaj
पूरा
and the manifestation day of
इतना पूरा
Narsingadev
आगे
is
शुरू होता
discussed
है.
in the previous Katha, and now I'm
कि
starting
जब
from
भगवान
here,
नरसिंहदेव प्रकट हुए
that when the Lord
तो सारे
manifested,
देवता भयभीत से हो चुके थे.
all the demigods were scared.
और भगवान नरसिंहदेव प्रकट हुए, ये बात सबसे पहले किसको पता चली.
And the Lord Narsingadev has manifested,
फाड़ दिया.
and who was the first one who got
आपने सुना.
aware of this?
तो अब मैं श्रीमद् भागवत सप्तम स्कंद अष्टम
So
अध्याय
I'm starting
35वें
from
श्लोक से
the
प्रारंभ करता
7th
हूँ.
canto,
जैसे कि हमारी परंपरा है,
35th.
श्लोकों के साथ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. निशम्य लोक त्रयमस्तक ज्वरम् तमादिदेत्यं हरिणा हतं मृधे प्रहर्षवेगोत्कलिता ननामुहु प्रसून्नवर्षे वर्वुषु सुरस्त्रियः. निशम्य लोक, निशम्य का अर्थ होता है.
From the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 8th chapter and 35th verse, we are starting, and our question was that the Lord Narsimhadev manifested, and who was the first one to listen or hear that? Nishamya means to hear, and who heard it, and see the last word of this verse. Sura Striya means the wives of the demigods. That is the celestial beings heard. So the wives of demigods heard, and what did they hear?
भागवत भी भागवत है। आप एक एक शब्द अलग कर दीजिए। लोक, लोक माने लोक, संसार।
So lok means the world, the material world,
ठीक है।
and traya means the
तो
three
लोक
worlds. So
त्रय
that means
यानी
the
मस्तक, मस्तक तो समझते ना आप सबके, है ना,
three
एक
worlds,
एक मस्तक, ये
and
दो दो तीन
mastak
तीन,
means the head.
काला माथाना मानवी बैठा है, अमुक धोड़ा माथाना, तो मस्तक माने हमारा माथा। लोक त्रय मस्तक ज्वरम, लोक त्रय मस्तक ज्वरम, ज्वरम माने बुखार,
Jwaram means fever.
बुखार, ज्वर माने माथा का बुखार, माने माथा दुखना।
So that means
लोकत्रय
the
तीन
fever
लोकों के, तीनों लोकों में रहने
of
वाले
the head,
लोगों के माथा
and
का जो दुखावा था,
that means that
तीनों लोकों में रहने
the
वाले
distress
लोगों
or
के
headache
मस्तक का ज्वर,
of the all
लोगों
the
के
living
माथा का
entities
दुखावा
in the three
कौन
material,
था?
in the
तम
three
आदि
worlds
दैत्यम,
was who?
आदि दैत्य
Tam
माने
Adi
हिरण्यकशिपु।
Daityam, that is Hiranyakashipu.
तो तम आदि दैत्यम, आदि दैत्यम कथम, देखो दोनों विभक्ति समान है। आदि दैत्यम ज्वरम माने वो दैत्य के लिए ये ज्वर
So the grammar here in for Jwaram and Daityam are same.
कैसा है? तो लोक
And how is
मस्तक ज्वरम,
he?
तीनों लोकों में रहने वाले
He
लोगों
is
के
a
माथा का
headache
दुखावा।
for all the living entities of
जैसे आप
all
अभी
the
बोलिए लाल गोविंद
material
दास,
universe.
आज से माथा का दुखावा शुरू हो रहा है, 7 दिन तक चलेगा। कुछ लोग कथा करते हैं ना, तो ऐसा लगता है कि इनकी कथा का जो इनविटेशन है वहां नीचे ब्रैकेट में लिखना चाहिए कि कथा और कथा के साथ साथ पेन किलर गोली भी मिलेगी। माथा
So
दुखेगा
sometimes when people do Bhagavatam Katha, so then they should write in the invitation that you also will get a pill for headache.
वो आदि दैत्य हिरण्यकशिपु जो तीनों लोगों का सरदर्द बन चुका था,
So the demon
हरि के द्वारा हतम
who was
मारा गया।
the headache of
हरिनाम
all the
हतम।
entities
हरि शब्द
of
से
the
ही
world
समझा जा रहा है
was
कि हरि ने
destroyed
हरि
by
का रूप धारण किया।
Harim.
हरि का एक अर्थ होता है भगवान, हरति इति हरि,
So Hari
हरि
means
हर ले दुख को, पाप
the
को,
Lord
चिंता को,
who
और हरि का एक अर्थ होता है सिंह।
destroys
हरि यम जीवन
sins,
होई,
distress,
हरि
etc.
फळियामा
And the
खोले,
other meaning
इन्हें मरण
is
पातु न होई,
of Hari
तेरी
is
भुवन काया।
lion
वनराज केसरी सिंह एक तराड़ करे तो पूरा
or
वन
Narsimha Dev.
लगे। ऐसे सिंह का रूप धारण किया, नरसिंह रूप धारण किया।
So the Lord took the form of a lion
तीन लोगों
or Narsimha Dev,
लोगों का जो ज्वर
and
मस्तक
Hatam
माथा का
means
सरदर्द बन चुका था,
is killed
उस आदि
or
दैत्य
destroyed.
हिरण्यकशिपु को हरि नाम हरि के द्वारा हतम मारा गया। कहाँ मारा गया? मृधे।
And where was he killed? Mridhe.
मृधे, मृधे माने रणभूमि में, रणांगन में, युद्ध
So Mridhe here means the battlefield,
रणभूमि में मारा गया। ओके, ये पहली
that
बात
is
समझ
in
में
the
आई।
fight or
मजे
battle.
की बात ये है, जब हिरण्यकशिपु मारा गया,
And the more interesting point is that
घटना है, जब ये
imagine
आदि
this is
दैत्य
the
हिरण्यकशिपु
pastime
मारा
of
गया,
Satyuga,
तो हिरण्यकशिपु के
and when
मरने का
he was killed,
आनंद, प्रसन्नता बहुत लोगों को हुई,
then
लेकिन
the
सबसे
happiness
ज्यादा आनंद किसको हुआ?
of
हरि के
the
द्वारा
death of
हिरण्यकशिपु मारा
Hiranyakashipu
गया।
was
वही
felt
वाला आपने
by
कथा सुनी ना,
everyone,
क्यों
but
गया?
who
क्यों
was
मारा
the
गया?
first?
तो उसके मरने का सबसे अधिक आनंद किसको हुआ, या सबसे पहले
So who
आनंद किसको हुआ? तो दूसरी लाइन में कहते हैं
got the pleasure of his death first and foremost?
कलिलतान नामुहु प्रसून वर्षे ववुषु सुरस्त्रियः प्रहर्षवेगः.
So in
Harsh,
the second line of this verse, it's mentioned harsh means pleasure,
और उसमें एक उपसर्ग लगा है प्र. ओके,
and
प्रहर्ष माने प्रकृष्ट हर्ष, माने पूर्ण आनंद.
there is a pra added, so that means complete ecstasy or happiness.
और आनंद ही नहीं, प्रहर्ष
And
वेग
not
और
only
उल्लास.
that, ullas, that
हिरण्यकशिपु
is
जब मरा
ecstasy.
तो सबसे पहले आनंद और उल्लास और
So when
उद्गलित
he
आनना
died,
और मुख खिल
so
जाना, मुख चमक जाना, और मुंह प्रसून्न वर्षे, प्रसून्न माने फूल, और बार बार फूलों की वर्षा करने लगी. कौन?
who
सुर स्त्रियः.
enjoyed the pleasure and were happy and were showering flowers is Sura Striya, that is the wives of women, wives of the demigods. And they were the first and foremost to enjoy that. And their faces brightened. Not only that, they were so much immersed in ecstasy that they started showering flowers on Narsimha Dev.
तो यहाँ पर देखिए, कथा तो हम सुनेंगे, इतिहास सुनेंगे, लेकिन इसके साथ
So we are going to listen to the pastimes, but we also should listen to the philosophy and practical application of the same. So if I ask you a question, were the women of the demigods or the wives of demigods distressed by Hiranyakashipu? There is not a single mention that Hiranyakashipu had agitated the wives of the demigods, although he had distressed the demigods. And we're going to listen how he used to trouble the demigods. He was forcing demigods to do his household chores. But he never distressed any of the women of the demigods. But the wives of the demigods were the first and foremost happy and showered flowers on the Lord. So the philosophy is that a person, if is in distress, then then the wife feels the most distressed. She feels the pain more. And if he is happy, then his happiness affects her utmost. And if not, then we should learn from here. So if someone says that I love someone, then the philosophy of love is that if the lover is distressed, then we are distressed, and vice versa. Even if we are dead or alive, doesn't matter. But if a husband and wife love each other, then they should be distressed or happy according to the situation of their husband or lover. So the wives of the demigods were extremely happy because now their husbands, the demigods, were relieved of their distress. So that is the philosophy behind love. On this opportunity, let me share a pastime. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to South India and he was on the banks of Godavari river, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him that you should meet Ramananda Rai. And they met, and for 10 days they they had a great intense discussion, and Rai Ramanand is Vishakha Sakhi herself. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was immersed in the mellows of Srimati Radharani, and what does he say?
Padratam pinashtu mam adarshanan marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadhatulam pato mat pranana tastu saevana parah. अब देखिए कथा कहाँ से कहाँ जा रही है, क्योंकि आप लोग सीनियर श्रोता हो चुके हैं, इसलिए मैं अब टेम्पर थोड़ा हाई कर रहा हूँ.
So as you all are senior listeners, so I am raising the temple here, and this word. So in the below verse, we have been discussing that the wives of the demigods were extremely happy on the death of Hiranyakashipu because their husbands were relieved of their distress and were happy. And it comes under the unalloyed devotion which is expressed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mellow of Radharani to Vishakha Sakhi in the form of Rai Ramanand. And what does he says? Padratam. So it means the dust of the lotus feet. So Srimati Radharani tells Krishna that we are the dust of your lotus feet. And even if you behave with us like we are dust of your lotus feet, then also we will be extremely happy because we consider ourselves as the dust of your lotus feet. So it means the servitor of your lotus feet. Even if you embrace me, that also is fine. And even if you don't embrace us or you go away from us, or even if you crush us under your feet, pinashtu means to crush. Or just giving your darshan, you might make us happy, or by separation, or you don't give darshan at all, then also we are the servitor of your lotus feet. Whatever you wish to do, you can do, but you always be the soul of my existence, or prananath. That is the vital energy. So the pran here is vital energy and nath is the Lord. So you will be my Lord and there is no one else beyond you. And this is the mellow of Srimati Radharani, that whatever gives you pleasure, you do that. If you feel pleasure in embracing us, then we are happy with that. If you like to crush us and feel happiness in that, then we will be satisfied with the same. If you want to give darshan or not, and if whatever situation makes you happy makes us happy, this is unalloyed devotional service or love. Just note down one thing, that this is the eternal love which we can get only under the shelter of these gopis. And if we want this kind of unalloyed devotional service, then we should take the shelter of the manjaris of the eternal associates of the Lord, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, etc. And they appear as Guru. And if we follow them, then only we will be able to get this unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. So let's go back to our prime verse, that the wives of the demigods were extremely happy. So the first reason, because they were happy, because their husbands would be happy and relieved. And if husband and wife claim that they love each other, then they should not take their convenience or happiness, but they should look for the convenience and welfare of their spouse. And when this kind of behavior is there, then the love will be true. So this is what the wives of the demigods have taught us.
ये आचार्यों की
There,
मेरा एक अपना सा अनुभव सा अर्थ मैं बता दूं, और घरनो डायरो છે ને ક્યાં મારે છુપાવું. एक अर्थ
there is another interpretation which
हिरण्यकशिपु कैसा है?
I have
लोकत्रय मस्तक ज्वरम, तीनों लोक
thought about,
में रहने वालों
and I have not read from any other interpretation.
जब हिरण्यकशिपु मरा,
So when Hiranyakashipu died, the wives of the demigods were happy. Why? Although we are here and Hiranyakashipu had become the headache of our husband, so how can he take our place? And that is the reason the wives of demigods became happy. That we are here to give headache to our spouse, a husband. And this Hiranyakashipu became the headache for our husbands. So it is seen in the material world that if they distress their husbands too much, but if someone else tries to distress their husband, they cannot tolerate that at all. She becomes angry and upset. So the wives were happy that he was doing our work. Now we can get back to our work.
देवताओं की पत्नियां प्रसन्न हुई। अच्छा, पत्नियां प्रसन्न हुई, पत्नियां ने पुष्प की वृष्टि की, सब कुछ किया और दौड़कर अपने अपने पतियों के पास गई।
So they became happy. They showered the flowers on the lawn and they came running to their husbands and told them that Hiranyakashipu has been killed by Lord Nrsingadev and he has manifested. And then what should we do? Let's go and have darshan of the Lord. It is also an extreme fortune to have a wife who tells that let's go and have darshan of the Lord. They should, such husbands should always feel grateful towards the Lord that He has provided such a beautiful spouse to them who supports their bhakti.
किसी की शादी में जाना हो कि मंदिर में जाना हो, उनको तैयार होने में आधा पौना 1 घंटा तो लगता ही है।
So the women folk, even if they have to go to a wedding or to temple, they take time to get ready. So as the Hiranyakashipu has been killed and the wives are happy, so the women decorated themselves and Shri Narad Muni is reciting this pastime and he says in the next verse,
Vimana Valibhinabhastalam Didakshatam Sang Kulamasanakita Suranakadan Duvayota Jagnire Gandharvamukhya Nanrutu Jagustriyaha. तदा, जब इस प्रकार से देवियों ने कहा, तदा,
when the women or the wives of the demigods said like that, tada, so Hindi and Sanskrit are similar. And then what happened? So all these demigods were driving through the spiritual sky and they were in a line. Avali means a line. So there was a line of the vehicles of the demigods. And they kept their vehicle fixed in the sky and they started seeing the darshan of the Lord. And Narad Muni says, after he recites that this vehicles has clouded the sky, nobody can see a cloud. So what do we learn from here? That when the Lord manifests, then we should visit the temple when the Lord manifests. We should get ready and like the demigods and go to the temple. And it gives us immense blessings and mercy of the Lord. And as they reached there, the demigods started playing the mridanga and the musical instruments.
नंद्रुतु जगु स्त्रिय और गंधर्व गाने लगे.
And the Gandharvas started singing, and the celestial women being were started dancing.
का अधिकार जो हिरण्यकशिपु लेकर बैठा था वो मरा, अपना अधिकार आ गया. इसलिए स्त्रिय जगु, स्त्री स्त्री बारंबार आ रहा है, आप देख रहे हो कि वो नाचने लगी.
So the women folk started dancing, and some came near to the Lord. And as Lord Narsimha Dev was in a ghastly mood, nobody had the courage to come near. But a few came little forward. So Govind TV is, so Govind TV has made this beautiful backdrop according to the Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. So only a few landed and they started doing the veneration of the Lord. And who all came near to the Lord is mentioned by Narad Muni in this verse.
Javi Buddha Brahmendra Girishadaya Rushaya Pitarah Siddha Rushaya Pitarah Siddha Vidya Dharamahoraga. तत्र वहां पर, कहां पर?
Tatra means there, where Lord Narsimha Dev has killed Hiranyakashipu. So Uprija means came little near. Who? As you can see in the backdrop, all these demigods, which were few, came little near to Lord Narsimha Dev. So Buddha means intelligent, and Vibhuddha means extremely wise or intelligent, and who in the scriptures are referred to demigods, or demigods are referred as Vibhuddha or extremely intelligent. Even if they commit a mistake, they accept their offense or error and work upon it. So Brahmaji and Indra, the lord of the demigods, and then Girish. Giri means Parvati's husband or the Lord. So the husband of Girija or Parvati ji is Mahadev. And then many sages or rishis came down. I'm going to tell who all are going. So the format for this katha will be that these all came down. So although there were quite a few people in the sky, but the people who came forward or near to the Lord are only mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam. So that is the philosophy, that a person who comes near to the Lord is mentioned. And this is what we are going to listen for the 7 days, that who said what. So Brahma, Indra and Shiva and Rishi and the Pitrus or the ancestors came down. Then the Siddhas and Vidyadhar and great serpents, they all came down. And who else came? Manva, that is Manu Maharaj, who was the king for 71 Chaturdash. And then even Prajapati came. Then Gandharva.
अप्सराएं नीचे आई, चारण कुछ चारण नीचे आए, यक्ष
Charan, Yakshas, which is a kind of demigods. Then Kim Purush, that is Hanuman ji.
मानो हनुमान जी भी नीचे आए नरसिंह देव भगवान की स्तुति करने. और तात हे तात नारद मुनि युधिष्ठिर महाराज से कहते हैं तात.
And Narad Muni tells Yudhishthir Maharaj,
बेताल माने क्या जानते हैं?
that even Betal came down. So the person who give in melody or ta.
और कुछ लोग सब लोग ताली बजाएंगे ना उसके बाद ताली बजाते हैं. उसका ताल उसकी ताली
Some clap when everybody else has done it already. So the person who doesn't sing in melody are called Betal.
फिर सिद्ध जो सिद्ध हो चुके थे ऐसे सिद्ध नीचे आए. किन्नर
Then Siddhas
और कुछ किन्नर नीचे आए.
and Kinnaras came down. It is further said,
विष्णु पार्षदा सर्वे, वे भगवान विष्णु के पार्षद नंद
the eternal associates of Lord Vishnu, that is Sunand, Mukund, etc.
तो पहले कैसे खड़े रहे जानते हैं? मूर्धनी.
They came.
देख सकते हैं मूर्धनी माने माथा.
So Murdhani means head.
मस्तक के ऊपर बद्ध माने बांधी हुई. अंजलि पुटा माने
And Badh means
मान लो बहुत परेशान
with their folded hands on their head, they came down. So when they were relieved of their great distress, then they come like that. So it is mentioned in this verse. On their head, they have folded hands.
लेकिन शुरू में पहले मतलब प्रेजेंट कैसे हुए, इनका अपीयरेंस कैसा था भगवान के सामने?
So they presented in front of the Lord with folded hands on their heads.
अच्छा हुआ आपने इसे मार दिया. तो मूर्धनि बद्ध अंजलि पूटा आसीनम तीव्र तेजसम. किसको प्रणाम किए? आसीन जो भगवान
And
नरसिंह
who did they bow down to? So they bow down the front of Lord Narsimha. And it is mentioned that Lord Narsimha was shining. He had so much effulgence as crores and crores of suns all together. And they started worshipping or venerating the Lord. And whose? That is Narshardunam.
भगवान नरसिंह देव कैसे हैं?
So here Lord Narsimha Dev is referred or addressed as Nar Shardulam. So I am constantly will be referring to Sridhar Goswami. and there will be an intense, deep discussion.
जैसे नीचे श्लोक आया ना, ईडी रे स्तुति करने लगे किसको? भगवान नरसिंह देव को। तो नरसिंह देव को यहाँ पर नर शार्दुलम कहा गया। तो श्रीपाद श्रीधर स्वामी कहते हैं नर शार्दुलम पुरुषोत्तमम।
So here Sridhar Goswami mentions as Nar Shardulam as Purushottam. If we are not able to understand Nar Shardulam, then he is referring as Purushottamam, that is, who is the best in the men, that is Purushottamam. And such Nar Shardulam, Lord Narsimha, were venerated by the demigods, and it is important to understand their position. Na ati dura.
यदि दूर कहना होता तो दूरा कह देते, यदि निकट कहना होता तो निकट कह देते। लेकिन
so they could have said that they were near to the Lord, but here they have said in a twisted form, like not from quite distance and nor very near. And from there they started venerating the Lord.
भगवान और भगवान के जो शुद्ध भक्त है या जो हमारे गुरु है,
so the Lord and the bona fide spiritual master, it's a philosophy that we should not stay too much away from them, nor we should stay very close to them. As if we are far away, then we won't be able to understand him, his mood, and how we are going to perform devotional service. But if we stay very near to the bona fide spiritual master, then we might get envious that they're eating and they do all the activities like us. Then they start offending the spiritual master. So a devotee who is intelligent, neither stays too close nor he stays too far from the spiritual master. When we were listening to our Guru Maharaj this, so I asked our Guru Maharaj that it is acceptable that we should not stay away from the Guru, but how we are going to understand that we are going to, why we should stay away from them. So Guru Maharaj had a shawl with Harinam, and he kept it in front of my eyes, very close to me, and he said that you read now. So he said now. So I said that I cannot read. So he told me to took it far, and then I was able to read. So that is how he explained it to us. So you need to contemplate on this philosophical point. ED means is the list of the people who are mentioned.
और फिर स्तुति कैसे करने लगे ये भी समझना जरूरी है.
And then how they were venerating or worshipping is also very important. The veneration is of two types. One, that is which everybody does together. As we consider Prabhupada as our spiritual master, so we do the we venerate him together. we all sing the glories of Guru Maharaj.
मंदाकिनी सावधान मते, हैं? हम सब लोग गुरु पूजा भी साथ में,
And
तो
we
ये
do
वो
all
एक
the Guru Puja also together.
प्रभुपाद जी की ही स्तुति है जो सब लोग साथ में गाते हैं। फिर उस प्रभुपाद जी की दूसरे प्रकार की स्तुति कैसी होती है?
There is another kind of veneration.
प्रभुपाद जी का जन्मदिन होता है,
Next day of Janmashtami is Prabhupada's appearance day, and his Vyas Puja is performed.
स्तुति करते हैं,
And that day also
वो स्तुति सब लोग साथ में नहीं
Prabhupada
करते,
ji is
वो
venerated,
करते हैं।
but that
announcement होता है, मधुसूदन
is
प्रभु,
done
अब
one
आपकी
by
बारी
one.
है, तो वो स्तुति करेंगे। फिर हमारे मोहन प्रभु आपकी बारी, वो स्तुति करेंगे। तीसरे प्रभु, चौथे प्रभु, वन बाय वन हुई ना। तो ये भी प्रभुपाद जी की स्तुति है जो वन बाय वन
So
हुई।
this is also venerating Prabhupada ji, but that is done individually, while the first one
अब आइए दूसरी लाइन,
is done together.
सारे देवता, मतलब ये जो नीचे उतरे वो सब स्तुति करने लगे, तो प्रश्न होगा ना कि ये स्तुति किस प्रकार से
So
करने
there
लगे,
might be
कौन
a
सी
question
स्टाइल में
that
स्तुति की है?
how
हमारे तो पाती
and what were they venerating.
तो हम
So
सोचते
we
हैं
are
कि
going
क्या कर
to
समझे कैसी
discuss
स्तुति है, तो इस श्लोक का अंतिम
in
शब्द
deep
देखिए,
detail. So if you see the last word of this verse,
साथ में मिलकर स्तुति, और दूसरी होती है अलग अलग पृथक पृथक स्तुति। तो ये देवताओं ने
so prithak is
साथ में नहीं, पृथक पृथक
not together. Prithak, that is
मतलब पृथक पृथक माने समझे, ये जितना भी
individually.
प्रश्न अभी दो श्लोक में हमने देखा, पहले ब्रह्मा जी
So
स्तुति
all
करेंगे,
these
हो गया, तो फिर शिव जी का टर्न आएगा, उनका हो गया, तो सिद्ध का टर्न आएगा, वन
demigods
नरसिंह देव भगवान के पास आते गए,
and the rishis etc. have
जबरदस्त
came down.
एक विशेष
They
स्टाइल,
started
भारत
praying
में ऐसी स्टाइल और
the
नहीं
Lord
है।
individually. So this is the style which is only here in the during the manifestation of Lord Narsimha Dev in the whole Shrimad Bhagavatam. There is no other reference like that
पहले शिपा छिदर स्वामी तो धन्य है,
or veneration like that.
और
So
स्तुति हम सुनेंगे, लेकिन स्तुति
we are going to listen to that prayers. But what is the mood during venerating the Lord?
की जा रही है। अब देखिए श्रीधर स्वामी कहाँ पहुंच गए, ये श्लोक भागवत जी का नहीं है, आप लोग खोजना मत भागवत में।
So this is not the verse from Bhagavatam.
अपना श्लोक है,
This is the verse from Bhavar Deepika by Sridhar Goswami, who he added himself.
ब्रह्मा दयो नृसिंहस्य शङ्कया कुलचेतस आरादेवास्तु वंसप्त दश श्लोके पृथक् पृथक् दश श्लोके पृथक् पृथक्। ब्रह्मादयो, शिवाशिधर स्वामी कहते हैं कि स्तुति प्रारंभ करेंगे, ओपनिंग करेंगे ब्रह्मा जी, और फिर
So
वन बाय
Sripad Goswami says that the veneration will be started by Brahma ji himself.
ब्रह्मा आदि भगवान नरसिंह देव की स्तुति करेंगे, लेकिन सबका मूड क्या होगा,
And
मूड देख लीजिए,
they all will venerate the Lord.
कहते हैं
And what will be the mood is mentioned in one word.
स्तुति करते हुए भावना ये है,
So this is the mellow while venerating the Lord. That they are distressed by the fear of the Lord. Chetas means mind or heart, but here Vyakul means fear. So the fear of Hiranyakashipu has been removed, but they are now more afraid of Narsimha Dev because he is in such a horrific condition.
फिल्म तो आप देखते नहीं होगे, इतने अच्छे साधु संत महात्मा आप लोग हो, लेकिन कभी कभार कहीं सारू है,
he could have killed Hiranyakashipu with his club, etc. So even one bullet is enough to kill someone. But sometimes a person is so much frustrated that they keep on shooting the person although he is dead. So similarly, Hiranyakashipu was uh, killed and all his intestines, etc., were removed. That was the ghastly form of the Lord. So, all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in Bhavishya Puran, but one that happened, even demigods were not aware of which incarnation. For whom? For the greatest devotee of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj, to protect a devotee. He doesn't seize any auspicious situation or if it is mentioned in the scriptures or not. So this is an important point here by Sridhar Goswami. They had a shanka, that is doubt. So as it was not mentioned in the Vedic scriptures, so they had a doubt that whether it was not supposed to be the incarnation of the Lord. And secondly, the Lord in such a violent form is never seen. So a mother loves the child and the child stays under the shelter and love of the mother. But when the mother becomes really angry or upset, then the child, although he knows that she is my mother, but yet they keep her safe distance. So the demigods were distressed and their mind and heart was distressed. And this Narsimha Stuti is in 17 verses. So it means that in these 7 days, we are going to listen these 17 verses in detail, in which all these demigods come in front of the Lord one by one and venerate the Lord.
और फिर से यहाँ पर कहते हैं वो स्तुति कैसी है, पृथक पृथक, सब लोग एक साथ उपाड़ा नहीं लिए.
So what kind of veneration is this? This is individual veneration of the Lord, which the demigods were performing individually and not collectively.
Shri Brahmo Vacha.
Stuti starts like this. Shri Brahmo Uvacha.
Natosmayantaya Duranta Shaktye Vichitra Viryaya Pavitra Karmane Vishvasya Sarga Vishvasya Sarga Sthiti Sanyaman Gune स्वलीलया दधते व्ययात्मने। बहुत सुंदर। भगवान नरसिम्ह देव को नवाजने के ये श्लोक है। और नरसिम्ह चतुर्दशी है।
Verses here are extremely beautiful.
भगवान नरसिम्ह देव के सामने नरसिंह आरती तो हम करते हैं, श्री नरसिम्हा जय नरसिम्हा।
So we do Narsimha Aarti in front of the Lord Narsimha.
जो देवताओं ने भगवान नरसिम्ह देव के सामने गाए हैं।
But these are the verses which were sung by the demigods in front of Narsimha Dev. So first of all, Brahmaji came forward. And who is Lord Brahma? He is the first living entity of this universe. And he is four-headed. We have one head, but he has four heads. He has four brains. We have two eyes. He has 8 eyes.
इतना ही नहीं, हमारा जीवन भोगों से भरा हुआ है।
Our life is filled with sense gratification, but who by his birth has performed austerity for 100 years and made the Lord satisfied is Brahma, who manifested from the belly of the Lord's lotus, who holds the four Vedas and who has all the four Vedas residing in his heart. And not only that, on the basis of the knowledge of the Vedas, he created this universe. He created 84 lakh species. So I just sometimes imagine how powerful his brain would have been if a person creates a vehicle, etc., then they get medals. So just imagine that Brahmaji has given us a body. What kind of great body he has created. So automatically we get oxygen. After every 4-5 hours we get hungry and we eat. So we get sleep and we get up as well. So similarly, he created insect. He said that Prabhupada used to say that Brahma is Brahma. If an insect's leg get broken, then no, not a single orthopedic surgeon can cure it. So such glorious Brahmaji is bowing down at the lotus feet of the Narsimha Dev. So we should understand from the Bhagvatam Katha's reference that what is the position of Lord Narsimha Dev? That Brahma, Indra and Shiv are praying to the Lord. So that means that Lord Narsimha Dev is far greater than all of them. So Brahmaji said, Shri Brahma Uvacha. So the first and foremost word is Nato Smi. So Brahmaji opens his veneration by saying that I bow down at your lotus feet. I bow down
अब चाहूं तो 5 घंटा बोल सकता हूं, लेकिन इतना तो नहीं करना है, हमें 17 श्लोक पूर्ण करने हैं।
I can speak on this Natosmi for 5 hours, but we are not going in that detail because I need to finish these 17 verses.
पहला शब्द कहते हैं
So,
नतोस्मि, हे प्रभु मैं आपको नमस्कार करता हूं। अब
Brahmaji
नमस्कार
says
लोग
that
भी करते हैं,
I bow down.
आप
We
लोग भी
also
करेंगे, आपके पड़ोसी
bow
भी
down at the
करते
lotus feet.
हैं, ये सब लोग नमस्कार करते होंगे, ठीक है। लेकिन सबके नमस्कार करने में नमस्कार के भाव में अंतर होता है।
But there is a difference in the mellows
मैंने नमस्कार किया, आपने
of
किया, उन्होंने
bowing
किया,
down.
आपने किया,
So although it
लेकिन
might
उसका जो
appear that
मूड है, उसके पीछे जो भाव है, उसमें अंतर होता है।
it is
दो
same,
तीन साल से
but the
हम ऑनलाइन
mellows
भागवत कथा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन
are
पिछले 5-7
different.
वर्ष कुछ ऐसे गए
So
कि फ्रीक्वेंट
in
फ्लाई करता
last
था मैं,
5 to 7 years, I used to frequently fly from one country to another
करते हुए
to perform the
दो दिन
Bhagvat Kathas.
पे क्या क्या पहुंच गया। तो एक बार मैं जापान में गया,
And one time I went to Japan,
वही मैं बाहर निकला,
and as soon as the flight landed,
खड़ी थी देविया जानते
and
एयर होस्टेस, वो सब प्रणाम करने लगी।
so all these air hostesses started bowing down, and
अब ऐसे प्रणाम
I was shocked that
दोनों हाथ जोड़ के मस्त
all
झुका दिया।
these
बाहर
people
गए तो
are
दुकान वाले माथा
devotees,
झुकाने लगे, ऑटो वाले माथा झुकाने लगे,
and everybody
उस
was
समय
bowing
मैंने
down.
चाइना तो 2-3 बार गया, चाइना
So
में भी गया,
few times I went to
माथा
China.
झुकाते हैं,
There also they were bowing down,
खाने जैसा माल खाते हैं,
and the people
लेकिन
who
प्रणाम सब लोग
eat
करते हैं।
things that they're not
तो
supposed to eat, yet
जापान
they're
वाले,
bowing down at the lotus
चाइना
to
वाले,
us.
ये सब लोग भी प्रणाम करते हैं, झुकते हैं, लेकिन
So
उसका
they all
भाव
bow
अलग
down,
होता है।
but
वो
the
अपनी
mellow
संस्कृति,
or the
अपने
mood is different.
कल्चर के कारण झुकते हैं।
They are bowing down because
ऐसा
of
नहीं
their
है
culture.
कि कल्चर है, संस्कृति है, बस कोई भी मिले हम हेलो हाउ आर यू करते हैं तो वो झुकते हैं, ऐसे ऐसे करते हैं।
So they just
तो
bow
ये भी
down.
झुकना ही हुआ ना, नतो अस्मि श्लोक में नतो
So
अस्मि,
that is
चाइना
also
वाले भी झुकते हैं,
bowing down.
लेकिन
That
उसका
is
प्रणाम भाव
Natosmi.
वही करते हैं। नतो अस्मि झुकते तो वो भी है, जापान वाले भी झुकते हैं, भाव अलग है। सो पॉइंट हमारा
But the mellows are different.
छोड़ो, यहाँ पर ब्रह्मा जी नतोस्मि झुक रहे हैं, प्रणाम
So
कर रहे
here
हैं,
Brahmaji
ब्रह्मा का
is
भाव क्या है,
bowing down. So what are the mellows of Brahmaji, and what should be our mood or mellow? Because Kapil Das ji said,
नमन नमन में भेद है, बहुत नमे नादान, दगाबाज दुगुना नमे, चीत चोर कमान। कभी कभी जो दगाबाज होते ना, वो तो दुगना झुकते हैं।
so sometimes people
बाहर से लगता है कि
who
सब नमन कर रहे
bow
हैं,
down
प्रणाम कर रहे
twice
हैं।
are
कभी कभी
people
हम लोग
who
देखते हैं, ओहो ये कितना प्रणाम करते हैं, लेकिन बाद में पता चलता है ये प्रणाम कर रहा था हमारी धोती खींचने के लिए,
so sometimes people
हमको
bow down,
खींचने के लिए ये सब चल रहा है।
and later we realize that they were doing it so that they can pull our leg.
नतोस्मि, प्रथम शब्द ब्रह्मा जी कहते हैं नमस्कारम, मैं आपको नमस्कार करता हूं। तो नमस्कार का भाव क्या है? अब देखो
So
श्रीधर,
what is the mellow of this bowing down? And we have to go to Sripad Goswami, Sridhar Goswami to understand this.
ब्रह्मा आदि
What
सभी
does he
देवताओं
say?
का भगवान नरसिंह देव को प्रणाम करने के पीछे भाव क्या है?
That the mellow behind
हमारा
that
भाव क्या होना चाहिए?
bowing down in front of the Lord,
भगवान
and
को
what
क्यों
should be
प्रणाम
our
करते हैं?
mellow
उनको पूछो। चलो मैं आज पूछता हूँ,
while
हम
bowing
भगवान
down
को
to
क्यों
the Lord?
प्रणाम करते हैं?
That if I ask, why do we bow down at the lotus feet of the Lord?
सब लोग करते हैं इसलिए हम लोग भी करते हैं,
Because everybody bows down, so we also do that.
हम भी करते हैं, या शास्त्र में लिखा है इसलिए हम करते हैं।
Or otherwise, it is mentioned in the scriptures, that is why we do. But that is not enough.
नतो अस्मि के ऊपर श्रीधर स्वामी कहते हैं,
Sridhar Swami says,
प्रसाद ये तुम नतोस्मि,
Tvam prasaditum natosmi.
आप प्रसन्न
That means
हो,
to
इसलिए
make
हम
you
आपको
happy.
प्रणाम कर रहे हैं।
That is why we are bowing down at your lotus feet.
त्वाम आपको प्रसाद ये तुम, प्रसन्न प्रसन्न करना चाहते हैं,
Prasaditu means to
हम
make
आपको
you
प्रसन्न करना
happy.
चाहते हैं, आपकी प्रसन्नता के लिए
Tvam means
तो
you and
स्वामी
Prasaditu
मैं
means to
आपको
make happy.
प्रणाम कर रहा
And
हूँ।
for that, I am bowing down at your lotus feet.
तो
Natosmi.
करने से भगवान प्रसन्न होते हैं। प्रणाम की तो बहुत बहुत महिमा आप सब जानते ही हैं।
So there are great glories of bowing down at the lotus feet of the Lord, which we all are aware.
श्रीधर स्वामी के पीछे वंशीधर आचार्य हुए, जिन्होंने
So after Sridhar
को भी बहुत सुंदर
Goswami,
समझाया।
Vanshidhar
तो एक
Swami
उदाहरण
has
तो ये हो गया,
explained it
ब्रह्मा जी के प्रणाम करने का भाव
in more
कि
detail.
हे नरसिंह भगवान, आपको प्रसन्न करने के
So
लिए
the first mellow is to
नतोऽस्मि।
make you happy.
अब
We are bowing
नतोऽस्मि
down.
छोड़ दे ऐसा दूसरा भाव सुनिए।
And the second interpretation of the
श्रीमद
same
प्रभुपाद ने भी अपनी
is,
परपोर्ट में ये लिखा,
which
अपनी इंग्लिश
has
और
been
हिंदी
quoted
version में,
by Srila Prabhupada
लेकिन मूल
in
वंशीधर
his
जी का है। मैं आपको
Bhagvatam.
मूल के पास लेकर जाऊं,
So,
आपको फॉन्ट समझ में आ रहे हैं? फुल स्क्रीन कर सकता हूं। ये श्लोक है वंशीधर आचार्य का।
so this is the verse of Vanshidhar Acharya, and he says,
हे प्रभु मैं आपको प्रणाम करता हूं, क्यों? बहुत सुंदर है, रसिक। वो कहते हैं सनकादि कोपयसी। अरे प्रभु मेरे तो भेजा, मेरे तो चार चार माथा है, ब्रह्मा जी कहते हैं।
so Brahmaji says that I have 4 heads,
लेकिन मेरा माथा चक्कर में पड़ गया आपको
but
समझने
still
के
I
लिए।
am amazed
कैसे
in trying to understand
मैं
you.
आपको समझूं तो कैसे समझूं?
And how
क्यों?
am I able to
बोले
understand you?
सनकादि
Why?
कोपयसी। पहले तो आप सनकादिकों को कोप कराते हुए, वो बात
That
इतिहास,
first of
सनकादिक
all,
ब्रह्मा जी के चार पुत्र
you
वैष्णव
made
कहलाते हैं ना,
Sankadik
तो सनकादिक कोपयसी
angry or
और
upset,
भक्तो भ्रंशयसी, और आप ही सनकादिक के हृदय में बैठकर अपने
and
पार्षद
by
जैन प्रजै को
sitting
भ्रंश
in the heart of
करते
Sankadik,
हो,
you have
और
made
उन्हें
them
जय और
curse
विजय
your
हिरण्याक्ष और हिरण्यकशिपु बनता
devotees,
है, और हिरण्यकशिपु तपस्या
Jay
करता
and
है,
Vijaya.
तो तपस्या के बाद
And this
मया
Hiranyakashipu
वरदाप्यसि, मेरे द्वारा
performs austerity,
को आप ही वरदान दिलाते हो।
and through me
चलो
you
एक
provide
हिरण्यकशिपु
him
और हिरण्यकशिपु
benediction,
आतंक करता है, पूरी दुनिया को छिन्न
and
भिन्न कर देता है,
he
लेकिन उसके बाद
distresses the whole
दैत्य
world.
गृह, अब देखिए तीसरी लाइन में, दैत्य
And
गृह
then
भक्त राज आविर्भवसी,
in the
तो इतना
home
बड़ा
of a
राक्षस
demon,
और राक्षस के घर
a
पर
great
भक्त
devotee
प्रहलाद महाराज का जन्म
like
भी
Prahlad
कैसे
Maharaj
हुआ?
is born
चलो
by
ये
your
तो समझ में
mercy.
आया। तो फिर दैत्येन भक्तम जिंगा सयसी, और फिर उस दैत्य के घर पे भक्त का जन्म हुआ, तो हिरण्यकशिपु ही अपने अपने पुत्र को मारने के
And
लिए खड़ा हो
he
जाता है।
himself wants to kill his own son.
उस दैत्य के द्वारा प्रहलाद को मारने की इच्छा प्रकट करवाते हो, और
So
हिरण्यकशिपु के हृदय
it
में
is
प्रहलाद को मारने की इच्छा प्रकट कराते हो,
because of
आप
you
ही
that
भक्त
he
रक्षार्थम,
thinks to kill
भक्तों की
his
रक्षा
own
करने
son,
के लिए
and then
स्वयं
you
एव
only
आविर्भवसी, खुद यहाँ पर प्रकट
manifest
हो जाते हो।
to protect your law, your devotee.
लास्ट में कंक्लूजन कहते हैं तव विधि, अरे मेरे बाप, आपकी ये विधि, आपकी ये स्टाइल
So this style
अब आप विचार करो, चार माथे वाले
we
ब्रह्मा
are
जी
not
को
able to
यदि ऊपर
understand.
नहीं है,
So
तो हम
even
और आप
Brahmaji with 4 heads is unable to understand. Then who are we or where do we stand?
चालू हो गया है अपना। तो तव विदित सम न को अपि वेति आह नमस्करोति, ऐसे होता ना, जब कोई आदमी समझ में नहीं आता ना, खास करके पति अपनी पत्नियों के सामने ऐसा करता है, भाई तू पहले तो कहती कि ये लेकर आओ, फिर जब लेकर आता हो तू कहती
Usually
फिर मैं वो लेकर आया,
husband
तू ये करती
tells his wife
मैं जो तो तेरी बात समझ में ही
that
नहीं
I am
आई।
unable to
ऐसा
understand
करते
you,
थे ना,
and then they just
ऐसे ही किया।
fold their hands in front of the wife.
श्राद्ध
Similarly,
में
Brahmaji
भक्तों को ये करना
folded his
है,
hands in
ये
front of the Lord that I am unable to understand you.
और फिर भक्त की रक्षा करने के लिए प्रकट भी हो जाते हो, प्रभु आपकी लीला हमको समझ में नहीं आती है,
So we are unable to understand your pastime,
नाम ही कर सकते
and so we can just bow down at your lotus feet.
હવે તમે મને કહો કે मैं કેવો ધંધો
Now
પકડ્યો
you
છે,
tell me
જે
that
ભગવાન
what
બ્રહ્માને
kind
નથી
of
સમજાતો,
business
એને હું સમજાવવા
I have
બેઠો છું।
started, that a the pastime which not even Brahmaji is unable to understand. And here we are trying to understand and explain it. But if we get the mercy of the Lord or bona fide spiritual master like Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada, then we will be able to understand something. So all the time is almost up. So we are going to understand through the interpretations of Sridhar Goswami and Vanshidhar ji. So Brahmaji has just arrived. His prayers are still remaining. So he says, so when I heard this train, Duranto, train was started by Modi ji, so I became very happy because this word is from Shrimad Bhagavatam. So the medium through which reduces the distance. So this train doesn't take much pauses, and you all have been we will discuss in further detail tomorrow. So you have been listening with great love and patience, and I especially want to thank and feel grateful to the whole Patel family who have organized this katha. Arvind Bhai, Sudha Ben, Praveen Kumar, Neeta Ben, Sanjay Bhai, Asha Mata. I am really thankful to all of you because of your mercy. We are able to listen and we are trying to remember the pastimes of Narsingadev. So, for your information, we will be performing a homa or fire sacrifice on the occasion of Narsingh Deva's manifestation. As this world is getting distressed by disease, etc. So we will perform this homa from our homes, and Amindaran Prabhu will give further information so that the whole world get benefited. So I thank you all. Let's conclude this session with Jai Jaikar.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण के